Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Gemini. If Gemini is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Three of Wands. And that has everything to do with virtue. Okay, let's see what these tea leaves have to say. And so if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And it is free to subscribe. Let's see. What do we have going on? Okay, Gemini. Wow. It really does look so much like we have another boat here. We've been having a lot of boats in the readings lately. And this one's actually really beautiful because it has kind of here in the middle, you can see the outline of the boat here. In the middle, we have a beautiful rose growing. And the rose often is a symbol of the mysteries, right? Of secrets, of things kind of coming into clearer vision. As the petals open, the bud is there, the petals open, and so we begin to see those most secret things. And with the Three of Wands, I feel like you are really listening to yourself. What comes to mind with the boat, we have a person standing here at the edge of the boat, looking forward, and kind of, I imagine almost holding up maybe a sword in their hand, okay? And I think of the Ace of Swords, a very clear and decisive mind. And when I look at this all together and I think, the moral compass, right? There is a real sense of you operating from this deeper sense of just knowing, but it is an intuition, but it is also truly it is the truth, right? Your own personal truth. And I feel that you really are at this place where you absolutely are not going to be taken off path by the input of others, the influence of others. You are this being upon this boat on the vast ocean of creation, of unconscious, of complexity and possibility. And really there is this never-ending source of material to create with. And I feel that you really are in this place where you are quite aware of this. And all of the things that people have to say and all of the kind of ambient energies and vibes and passive-aggressive input trying to mold you in one way or another, it does not matter. It absolutely does not matter. Because you are about your business. You are here to do your work, right? Whatever that means. And now this could be, quite literally, the work you do for money, the work you do for resources. But I really think this is like a capital W. This is the divine work. This is your holy work, your spiritual work, the interior work. And so, carried here is that beautiful talent, that ability to see. But not only the ability to see, and this is really true, I think, of Gemini, is you have access to that ocean we were talking about, that unconscious, the subconscious, and kind of the shifting inclinations of the universe. All of that kind of abstract and raw material is there for you. But you're also really good at doing something with it. There are plenty of people who can look into that thing, into the abyss or whatever you want to call it. And they see things, they have visions, they, get inspired, but they just don't have the ability to really do much with it. And this is where a lot of these energies build up. They get stuck, they get built up, and I think that this is where we kind of get on the edge of, the magician and madness, right? Well, a Gemini is someone who really is not constrained by form, really. There's an ability to shift fluidly through things and to adapt well. And that is why you are so good at using so many different mediums, being so innovative, making something of what you have right here, and I look at this and we've had so many boats in the readings. This particular batch of tea really likes to do the crescent shapes and the boats. And I'm not mad. I like that. There's a lot of movement of energy happening. I imagine a lot of processing taking place. We also have a butterfly right up here. And there is a metamorphosis, okay? There is definitely a self-evolution taking place. Now, with the person holding the sword, I really do think that not only is this work, beautiful and transcendent, but I really think it is helping you. It's helping you really navigate through the obstacles. And I think a lot of these are probably emotional, psychic obstacles. Places where you get in there and you think, I don't know. This one seems a little too difficult, or this is something that I want to do, but it's too tedious, or I can't stay focused on it, or whatever it is, right? And I feel that with this Ace of Swords energy, there is just this perfect alignment where it's all snapping into place, and you are really getting through those parts that are just kind of like, this isn't the part that I like to do, and we all have certain things that are just not our strong points, or we find it pretty daunting, right? And so let's kind of look over this way. Okay. And let's see. Okay, so we have a falcon right here. You can see kind of the head, the body. These are often birds that the eagles, the falcons, the hawks, For me, in my reading, I think of these as the carriers of imagination, of but also rational thinking, innovative thinking. These are birds that fly high. They have a larger perspective. They, obviously they're up there, and they can see all that is beneath them, the whole kingdom, right? The whole kingdom. And so I think that in this time, there really is a sense of gaining perspective. And I think that this really has to do with you and with that boat we were looking at. But I think that really this has to do with you doing some different things out of the norm, having some opportunities to experience things that you maybe never even thought of doing, maybe traveling somewhere you had not expected, having an opportunity to do so. Maybe this is through work, maybe this is with family. Whatever it is, I see you expanding your understanding, your worldview, your enjoyment of things, trying stuff that, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's like, there's something about when you're traveling, right? Especially things like trying new cuisine or going to places that, in your own city, maybe, you've never been to this museum, it's there, you've heard about it, people, kind of go when they're like tourists or whatever. So when you're traveling and you are the tourist, right? You have this kind of invitation to try new things, experience things more widely. And I think that is something that could totally be part of the story here. And something that I think that you maybe are even looking forward to. And let's see, we do have a mer person here. You can see the outline in the tail. So the boat does become the mer person, which is interesting because usually the mermaid, the mer person, I don't know what the merman, I guess, whatever. I don't know what the pronoun things would be for them, but we know that they're usually, anyways, I read them as two separate things, two different, it depends on the context, but sometimes it's the siren. Okay, now the siren originally was the bird. It was half bird, half person. And then as, mythology evolved or, different cultures kind of mixed or whatever it was, the mer person became a siren, or the siren also became this half fish, half person. And we know that this is kind of the story of sailors being kind of drawn in by a beautiful song, a beautiful voice. And they would turn their boats, they would go towards the rocks and meet their demise. Okay, so there's that, but then there's also, and this is the one I prefer usually, unless I see clear signs of, troubled temptation. But I don't think so much, because we also have a flower here, which we'll talk about. But the other kind of fish person is someone who can swim through that very same ocean we were talking about and pick out those symbols, those, I like to say signs, symbols, omens, synchronicities, patterns. I think really of, if you could imagine swimming through a very dark ocean and, going through, but knowing exactly where to go to find these abstracts, these fragments, these pieces of things to grab and bring to a place, and you assemble them together into these larger concepts, these ideas, these things of beauty. And that's kind of what I like to imagine there. Somebody who is really good at navigating these beautiful and strange places. So, that's kind of more of the energy. I think that there's a lot of creativity. I think that there's a lot of dreams. A lot of dreams. I've noticed in a lot of the readings there have been just a real movement towards kind of living in our imaginations a lot, doing a lot of work in these theaters of imagination. I feel there is a real kind of turn towards the poetic, and I think a lot of times this happens collectively when the world starts to feel out of control, when we have big events happening that are really scary, things that feel so much larger than us. There is this kind of building anxiety, again, collectively. And, I think that we've been through big waves of that these last 10 or 15 years. And it's always, and don't let me fool you. It's always been like this. It's just that we're so interconnected. We have this kind of 24. Hello, TT. Have you come to bless the reading? But we have this cycle where we are always able to get the news. I remember a time when the news was only on at certain times of the day. And people read the newspaper, and it was a physical thing that came to our house, or you went out and got it at the liquor store is what we called it where I came from, the corner store or whatever. And that was, it was a little more limited. Now it's everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's news, there's things happening. And a lot of it is, it's made to create anxiety. And so, I think we're all kind of operating in this space of really heightened awareness of cataclysm, and it is. And so, it doesn't surprise me that we turn to the arts. We turn to fantasy. We turn to distractive, things, overconsumption of things, and habitual, living and whatever it is. But, and I'm not making any judgment on that, because it's kind of just the ebb and flow. It's the ebb and flow. And so it really depends on what we're making of it, right? And I see, especially Gemini, because you all are such resilient people, and you have that heavy Mercury, ability to, like Quicksilver, right? Form into whatever needs to be. Very fluid in that way. And I think the thing I love about Geminis is that you all make things entertaining for yourselves and for other people, but you're really good at finding ways to avoid boredom, right? And so, of course you would be really good at going out there into the universe and bringing back beautiful, sparkly, and fun, and gorgeous, and maybe even horrifying, little fragments of data to weave together into something so spectacular. And that is a blessing to you and to all of us, okay? Now, let's see. I'm going to go over here. We're going to see what's going on in this one. Oh, I'm trying not to sniffle. I'm sorry. I keep trying to think. Don't cough, don't sniffle, don't blow your nose. Don't do it. Don't do it near the mic. Okay, so we have a walking stick. We have a vase. A walking stick and a vase. We also have 3 and 2. Or 3 and 1, 1. I kind of think 3, 1, 1. Or 311, if you're old like me and remember that band. I don't want to think about it too much because I'll have it stuck in my head forever. I don't know if they were like, I mean, I think they were popular everywhere, but they were so popular in California, like in my age group. And I actively avoid hearing them too often. I mean, there's not really a lot of places I do, but I will get into the mode thinking about their music nonstop. But I think this is different. But we have a 3 and 2, 1. So 3, 1, 1. And so the walking stick, interesting because it doesn't feel so much like a like you were hiking or traveling. I would think, oh, this is like you're ascending the holy mountain or something. But I almost feel like this is actually somebody else. This is like maybe a grandfather or your father, maybe. And I feel like they were kind of a woodsy person. Or they worked with wood, maybe. They were some kind of carpenter. Maybe they are still. I don't mean to make it seem like they have transitioned, but I feel like this is a person who really, and this is going to tie back to the beginning, I think this is really a person who you saw in your life really operate off of their own moral compass. And I think they were a person that felt really passionately about treating others with respect and a fair deal, right? I feel like this is like the kind of person that if they accidentally walked out of, the self-checkout with something they forgot to scan, they'd go back in there and they would pay for it, right? They're just like a really, very honest and fair person. But it wasn't like they boasted about it. I don't even think that they necessarily said too much about this kind of living, but this is just who they were through and through. And they did it not to get attention, not to, what is that, like, virtue flag? Is that what it's called? Virtue flagging? I forget. But, whatever. And that ties back to the virtue. I forgot that was but yes, they just did. They lived in their own virtue, right? And and it seems like this is somebody who you admired. And in some ways felt like this is what you wanted to emulate because they just are so trustworthy, very trustworthy person. And I think this really affected you on a deep level. And now, have you always been able to live up to that? Maybe not, maybe not, but I think you've really tried your darndest and you continue to do so. Okay. And I think that's what's important here. Okay. Hello, my love. Let's not put your boot on there. Yep. Come here. Oh. No buns on the camera, please. All right. Yeah, I think we'll move on to the affirmations. Affirmation cards. Okay, so we have the happier, let me see if I can put these up here. Happier me affirmation cards. And hold on to me, sweetheart. I don't want to drop you. Okay, so I'm going to flip through here and stop where it feels right. And we're going to read it together. I forgive those who have harmed me in my past and peacefully detach from them. I forgive those who have harmed me in my past and I peacefully detach from them. Yeah, I like that. I'm about that life. Yes. Okay, it says forgiveness plays an essential role in your happiness. Forgiveness replaces the sorrow in your heart with love and peace. Yeah. The forgiveness is hard, but letting go of things, I think, you know. I don't know. For me, if you know or you don't know, I'm in recovery. So I do 12-step. And, you know, if you know anything about AA, NA, or any of the 12-step type of things, is that we have a part where we have to, like, take self-inventory about the things we've done to the people we've done them to. And then later on, you make amends, okay? And, you know, it's not easy on either side. You know, the person making amends, the person receiving the amends. The forgiveness is hard. It can be really hard. I mean, you know, there are levels to it, of course. But being able to put down the weight of, you know, transgressions, you know, carrying that stuff, there's a freedom in that. But it doesn't mean that you have to have that person in your life. It doesn't mean that they have to know that you forgive them. It doesn't mean you ever have to talk to them again or understand them or their behavior or any of that stuff. But sometimes, you know, we have to try to figure out a way to say, you know what, this stuff that you did, this you know, poison, this gunk, this grossness that, you know, you brought into my life, it's not for me. This is your stuff. You get to have this. And I'm going to set it right here on the ground. And I'm going to keep going, you know. And that's literally the best we can do. A lot of times, that's the best we can do. So anyways, TT, you have anything to say? You have anything to say to these people? Besides you're going to fall asleep right here on my arm? No? Okay. All right. Well, Gemini, I want to say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing so. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out, and it is free to subscribe. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. They mean a lot. They actually are one of the big reasons I keep doing these readings. I love hearing from you all. And what else? I hope that you have had some wonderful, last weeks of the year. We are coming up on this next big leap into the future. And, I hope for you that you have a happy and safe New Year's, and this next year brings you a lot of what you want and what you need. And, I'll be here for you. Keep coming back and yeah. This cat is fully cleaning her. She's leaning back, cleaning herself. Oh, you're going to fall over. You're scaring me. What is that? You have makeup on your... What is that? Did the baby put some makeup on you? You silly. Don't huff me. All right, we got to stop this. These poor people are just going to listen to us bicker at each other, huh? All right. Okay, we love you. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.